Hey, Adam. All right. You ready?
Hi. Yeah.
Okay. Waiting for our friends to come in. All right, guys. Hey, Chloe. Hey, Marianne. Hi. If you guys have a sheet of paper, you guys can take out. We're gonna add something else to. If you have an extra sheet of paper, bring over. You guys will need your jars. Make sure you guys have your jars. You need Alka Seltzer if you have it. If you don't have it, I'm gonna give you an alternative. You need your food coloring. You need your vegetable oil. Okay, so make sure you guys have your ingredients. Okay, I'm gonna go over the ingredients right now with you guys. Everybody get a sheet of paper if you guys have one handy. Get one sheet of paper. I know we didn't put it in the materials, but I wanted to show you guys something real quick. And a pencil. If you guys have a sheet of paper and a pencil. Okay. How's everybody doing this morning?
Good.
Good? Awesome. Everybody grab a sheet of paper if you have one, any type of sheet of paper. We're gonna sketch out our thoughts, our guesses of what's going to happen in science today. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the ingredients again. Okay, so we need vegetable oil. We need vegetable oil. We need food coloring food coloring. We need Alka-Seltzer tablets. Okay, Alka-Seltzer tablets. We also need vinegar, a jar. You need a cup, an egg, a raw egg, an uncooked egg, and a jar with a lid. If you have a jar with a lid, like this, a jar with a lid, okay? And any type of measuring spoons and some water. I'm gonna type it in the chat just so we can make sure that we have it, okay? So we need some water. We need water. We need food coloring. Food coloring, we need oil, vegetable oil if you have it, or oil. We also need Alka-Seltzer tablets. We need vinegar, we need a jar with a lid, and pencil paper. Okay. Jar, vegetable oil, measuring spoon, egg. Okay. Whoops, hold on.
Do you need an egg?
Yep, I wrote egg right now. Egg. We need water. We need a measuring spoon. So I'm gonna hold up the ingredients again, okay? Hold on. All right, vegetable oil. If you have your vegetable oil, go ahead and hold it up. If you have your vegetable oil, hold it up so I can see, make sure that you have it. Great. If you have food coloring, hold it up.
We're making lava lamps.
Yes, we're making lava lamps. We're doing three different types of experiments. Okay.
I've already made them, so I'm just not gonna do it. Follow along.
Okay, no problem. Sounds good.
It won't.
Okay. So food coloring, vegetable oil. You need vinegar. Vinegar you might have from the Monday's experiment. You should have maybe some left over. What else? Let's see. We need a jar, an empty jar. With a lid, probably, if you have a lid, yeah, any size jar. I have like 3 jars with me that I'm going to experiment with. You need some water, so if you have just an extra container with water, so you can pour it. Okay. You need some type of glass and an egg. Okay. It doesn't matter what egg. Just be careful with the egg that you don't break it before we get to do the experiment. Okay. All right. And that's it, because you don't really need any measuring spoons or anything like that at this time, unless you're using baking soda and you don't have Alka-Seltzer. Okay. Make sure you grab a piece of paper and a pencil or a marker, whatever you have, because we're going to go step by step. We're going to take some guesses as to what this experiment is going to be, what it's going to look like, and why. Okay. All right, let me make sure that all our friends are ready to go. Let's see, does the jar have to be glass? No, it doesn't have to be glass. If you have a plastic jar, that's fine. I'm just using a glass jar because that's what I have. Okay. Can we use something other than tablets? If you don't have Alka-Seltzer tablet, you're gonna end up using a little bit of baking soda if you have it, and lemon juice if you have it, if you don't have Alka-Seltzer tablets, okay? So, but if you have the Alka-Seltzer tablet, that's the way to go, okay? All right? Okay. So get your Alka-Seltzer tablets, get your oil, get your vinegar, get your water, get all the stuff that you need. Okay, if you have baking soda instead, take out your baking soda and hopefully you have a little bit of lemon juice. If not, we'll make it work. Look, in science, nothing's ever perfect. As scientists, we're always trying out new things. It's a trial and error. We're making guesses, we're testing it out. That's what real scientists do. They never get it perfect the first time. And I've been doing science for many, many years. And every time we do experiments, sometimes my experiments don't work when I do it myself. And I've been doing this for many years, okay? So don't get frustrated if something doesn't work out. We test it. That's what we do. We're scientists. We're trying to figure it out, okay? So yes, Jane, do you have a question? Go ahead, honey.
No, I don't. I just joined, so I don't know. I don't really know where we are.
Okay, no problem. So we are in science right now. So
no, I know that we're in science. I just don't know what step we're on.
Oh, we haven't started yet.
Oh.
I just need to make sure that everybody has their supplies. So make sure you guys have your oil, your food coloring, your egg, your jar, your jar. You can see. You need a piece of paper, you need your vinegar, you need your food coloring. We're gonna go step by step. But first we're gonna make sure you have your piece of paper, and because we're going to guess first before we start our experiment. Okay, so behind me here, make sure you have a piece of paper. Behind me here, we're gonna do experiment number 1. So this is experiment 1. Experiment number 1. And experiment number 2. Okay, we probably will have time for another experiment with the same ingredients that we're using. Okay, now so for this experiment number 1, I want you to go ahead and draw a jar. Okay, draw a jar on your piece of paper. You can split your paper. If you have a piece of paper, split your paper in 2. Okay, you're gonna draw a jar on the left and a cup on the right. Okay, if you have a piece of paper. Do you have a piece of paper? Okay, you're gonna draw a jar. So you're basically doing a little rectangle on the top, 2 lines here, and go ahead and draw your jar. Because we're gonna try to guess what's going to happen before we do our experiment. Okay, we can start with our jar first. Okay, and then the other one will have our cup with our egg in a second. Okay. Go ahead and draw your jar. Okay. How many of you guys have ever made a lava lamp before? Okay. So you guys will probably know this. So you need, your ingredients that you need for this experiment are your oil, your lid, jar, water, Alka-Seltzer, and food coloring. So when you do science, there's different steps that you go through science, right? You talk about hypothesis, which is a guess of what you think is going to happen, the procedure of the step-by-step, showing people how to do it, because you need to be able to explain this as well, okay? Those friends who are just joining us, we're just getting started right now. If you have a piece of paper, I want you to draw your jar. We're gonna take a guess as to what's gonna happen. If you don't have a piece of paper, it's okay. Just watch. Make sure you guys have your oil, your food coloring, your baking, your Alka-Seltzer tablet, and your vinegar and all that good stuff, okay? So here, I'm gonna say it one more time, Olivia. So you need your vegetable oil or your oil. You need your food coloring. You need a cup with an egg, okay? Just be careful with the egg, just put it in the cup for now. You need vinegar. You're going to need Alka-Seltzer tablet. You're gonna need some type of container of water. because you're gonna pour that in the other cup, okay? So let me know if everyone is good. Okay, great. Can you say the ingredients again? I don't have Alka Seltzer. If you don't have Alka Seltzer, you're gonna use baking soda. We're gonna try that, okay?
Will the powder work?
We're gonna try it. I tried a little bit, so it should work. We're gonna figure it out. All right, so guys, once you have your jar here, how many of you guys have ever tried to mix oil and water together? Olivia, raise your hand. Olivia, go ahead and speak. Have you tried to mix oil and water together?
I haven't, but I got this souvenir from a place where it's like a thing full of water, and there are little plastic things inside of the container, and then there are little oil droplets that you can play around with, and it's really cool. I used to stare at that thing for like an hour.
Awesome, amazing. Okay, so how many of you guys, so water you can drink, right? Can you really drink oil? Can you drink oil? I mean, you can eat oil because you use it to cook with, but you shouldn't really be drinking oil, right? So if you were to put, let's guess, how many of you guys think that if we were to put, our first step is going to be to put water. Don't do it yet, we're gonna all do this together. So our first step when we do our experiment is to put water in our jar, okay? So this is water, okay? That's going to be step number 1. But then, yes, go ahead, Adam. Go ahead, Adam.
How much water?
We're gonna put about 1/4 of water. So you see how much I put on my, how much? Yeah, a little bit less than a half.
Oh, yeah.
But we're gonna go step by step in person. But I'm just gonna show you right now on the board, so then that way you can understand and visualize. Leela, go ahead.
I just got here because my iPad wasn't working, so I had to try my mom's computer.
No problem.
What we're doing right now.
No problem. We're making lava lamps. So just make sure you have your ingredients. We need oil. We need food coloring. You need a jar, a clear jar. You also need a container of water because you need to pour some water in there. You need vinegar, and you need Alka Seltzer tablets and food coloring, if I haven't said that already. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
No problem, honey. Okay, so the first ingredient that we're gonna add into our jar in a moment is going to be water. The next ingredient that we're going to add into our jar is going to be the oil. Okay, so after that, we're gonna add oil. So oil is gonna be the second. So this is gonna be the first, and then we're gonna do second. Then after we do that, we're gonna add food coloring. Food coloring. Now, question, do you guys think that the water is going to mix with the food coloring? How many of you guys think that? Raise your hand that the food coloring and the water are gonna mix. Raise your hand. Do you think that's gonna happen? Okay. How many of you guys think, well, let me see. Why do you think it's gonna happen? Leela, why do you think the water and the food coloring will mix?
I don't know. I just feel like, I know that I went with oil because I feel like oil never mixes with water. And before I've done food coloring and water to make the water different colors and stuff. But I know that water and oil don't mix, so I don't think the oil is gonna work, but the water is.
Okay, all right, good guess. Okay, anybody else? Jay, do you have a question, honey? Go ahead.
I don't.
Okay, sounds good.
I think I know what'll happen.
What will happen? Who has a guess? Go ahead.
Patanjali. Cause like once I've tried putting, I forgot what, but I tried putting something into water and it went in all like swirly shapes and it was really cool. So I think that'll happen.
Okay. Well, let's figure it out. We're gonna test it. Hold on. Let me see if anybody else has a question. Piper, no, the egg does not have to be hard boiled. So it does not have to be hard boiled at all. Okay. Okay. So does anybody have any questions before we begin? Where are my friends, Michelle and Elizabeth? Okay, great. Is everybody ready to go? All of you guys have your ingredients ready? Yes, thumbs up so I can, if I'm going too fast, please make sure you tell me, okay? And I will slow down. All right. So again, first thing we need for this experiment, grab your jar. Grab your jar, okay? Grab your jar. It's gonna sit on your table, okay? I'm gonna hold it here so you can see it because it's hard for me to angle my computer on the table right now, okay? So I'm gonna hold my jar, but you put it on your table so it's on a flat surface. Got it? Okay. You need your jar. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab our water. Make sure it's not anywhere near your computer where you can spill water on it, okay? Or your tablet. So this empty jar right here, we're going to fill about a quarter, less than halfway with water. So go ahead and start doing that. You can do it slowly. You're gonna have about, I'm gonna do less than half, okay? Not half, but less than half. So do you see how much water I have in my jar right now? I have about that much. Do you see? Okay. Yeah. So continue, pour up to there. Okay. Thumbs up if all of you guys have had that step.
Is this good? Is this where it should be?
Yes, that's perfect, Adam. Good. Yes.
Is this good?
Is this okay?
That's great. Good job, Jagger. Good. And remember, it's not exact. It's okay. Like this one, some science experiments, you have to be really exact and some you don't. Like the lava lamp is something that doesn't have to be totally exact, but we don't want our jar to overflow either. So, so we're just going to take a little precaution. Okay. All right. So once you have, what do you see in your jar? Can anybody tell me? What do you see? Do you see anything in your jar right now? Look at your jar. Look on the side. See, what do you see? Anything? Can anybody tell me? What do you see in your jar? Go ahead. Who wants this? Leela, go ahead.
I only see clear water.
Clear water. Do you see anything else? Any bubbles? Any fizzing happening? Anything?
No.
No, we don't see anything. Okay, and air. Somebody said air. Great. Yep, there's air on the top. There's air on the top of the. Okay, next step. This is where you have to be really careful because oil is really messy, guys, okay? Oil is super messy. So look, you see my lid? I'm gonna take the top off. I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna put that down. I'm gonna keep my jar on the table, but I'm gonna just lift it up so you can see. I'm gonna pour about, not all the way to the top. I'm just gonna pour about a fourth up. I'm gonna still leave about 4 or 3 finger spaces on the top of the jar. So then that way it's not completely full because we need to put our Alka Seltzer and food coloring. So watch, I'm gonna start adding. I want you to look and observe. Once you start adding the oil, see what's happening because right now there was nothing happening with the water. See what's happening. Go about there. Okay, I'm gonna just go about there. See what's happening. Now I'm gonna put my jar down for a second. I'm gonna close the lid of my oil so I don't spill it all over myself. And then I have my jar, okay? Look at your jar right now. Turn it around a little bit slowly. What do you see at this time? What's happened? Where is our water in the jar? Where is our oil in the jar? Who can tell me? Let's see, Jagger, where is the water? Is it at the top or is it at the bottom?
It's at the bottom and the oil's all bubbly and stuff.
Yes, the oil ended up where? On the top? On the top.
Very
right?
pretty.
Great. Okay, who else? Paige, go ahead. Paige, go ahead.
Is this enough for mine?
Yes, that's fine, honey. That's good. Okay, that's good. Okay, Adam, what happened to yours?
The oil stayed at the top and the water stayed at the bottom, but a tiny bit oil went to the bottom.
Just a tiny bit. Like if I really look at mine right now, like it'll start to go up. So right now you clearly see two layers, right? You see the water layer, which is super clear. It doesn't really have many bubbles. It starts with a little bit of bubbles here on the bottom with the oil, but then it all swims up to the very top. Why do
Kind
you,
of like it looks like the oil is the olive oil is like jello because it's like not even like going down. Like,
it
it's
does.
kinda
It
weird.
kind of looks like a layer of jello. You're right. You're absolutely right. Now,
If you
why
look
does
at the bottom.
yeah, why does
It's
the
too
oil,
high.
yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Okay, Danielle, go ahead. Did you have a question? Okay, so question, why does the oil float on the top of the water? Why doesn't the oil sink instead? Why doesn't it do that? Anybody have a good
It
guess?
isn't a physical object.
Because what?
It's a physical object.
Well, both of these are liquids, but what other reason?
Because
Okay, go ahead. There's a word that I'm looking for. So when something is heavy, how many of you guys have gone swimming in a swimming pool? Okay. When you go in a swimming pool, do you sink or do you float? How many of you guys float? I think the answer should all be the same. How many of you guys float? Raise your hand. Let me get a friend to talk real quick. Let's see. The Cohen. Okay, you guys sink or float when you guys are in the water?
Read it.
My friends, the Cohen Buxers.
Oh,
Do you guys float or do you guys sink when you go into a pool?
Well,
You float, right?
look.
At first, you feel like you're going to sink, right? It's
Yeah.
that first initial jump inside the pool that you feel like, oh my goodness, it's kind of a little scary. But then all of a sudden, you're floating, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that sometimes happens.
Yes. Okay, so same concept here. It's the oil is less dense. So the oil here is less dense or it's lighter than the water. Okay? So because the oil weighs less, that's why it's floating to the top. Same thing because when you go into a swimming pool, it's the same thing. You weigh a little less than the water, so then that's why you are able to float. Okay? So now next step. We're going to add food coloring. Whatever color you want, okay? You're going to, I have red, I have yellow. I'm going to start with my red first. Make sure that you take the top off. Look, watch what I'm going to do. So right now you clearly see that you have two layers, okay? You're going to go ahead and drop a couple drops. You could probably do like 12 drops, I don't know, 15 drops, whatever you have. And really take your time and see what's happening. Make sure you put it down, watch and observe what's happening. Watch and observe what's happening from the very top of the view, the top view of your jar, and the bottom view, the middle view of your jar. So look at it. So what's happening? I'm gonna look what's happening to mine. Look at that. But what's happening on the top? I don't know if all of you guys have the same thing, but look at yours. What's happening to yours?
mine like connected and like switched together and they like fell down.
Let's see. I'm going to pin your video. Hold on. I want to see everybody's. Let's see, Adam.
So they were like next to each other. They go like this. It's in there and it just
Yeah,
dropped.
I see that. That looks great. Okay.
Oh, it's turning blue. Whoa, it has like strings.
Yeah, give it a minute. Yes. So what I want you to see is really observe. In science, you really want to observe what's happening. Let's see. Jade, how is it going over there?
Mine like staying in the olive oil. I mean, vegetable oil.
Okay, let's see. Jade?
Can we put different colors?
Yeah, so what we're going to do, so you did the one color. Now add another color. Add another, a couple of drops of another color.
Well,
Go ahead, pick another color.
I didn't have
Food coloring?
so I just used watercolors and mixed it in with the water, and then
Oh, perfect. How's it coming out, Jade?
I tried to use.
Okay, great. Jade, thank you. Looks good. Okay.
I'll try putting the lid on and shaking it up.
So next, we're not going to shake it up yet because we need to put the lid on there before we can shake it up, okay? So do not shake it without the lid, okay? We don't want everything to go over. Okay, so go ahead and add another color. I'm going to add some green. Let me see if this changes it up. So look, right now it looks like my oil, look, I have an orangey or reddish on the bottom, right? My water turned a different color. My oil, is my oil still yellow? Or what color was your oil? It's still yellow, isn't it? Okay. And I still have a couple droplets on the top. I'm going to add some green. Add some green and see what happens. You can clearly see what's happening when you add your other colors. Okay. So look, once you add a few more colors here, you see now that there's 3 different layers because your food coloring, if it's a different color, is going on from the very top. Here, let me see if I can angle. And you should be able to see your drops, the middle layer of oil, and then your bottom water, which is now colored because of the food coloring.
Should I shake it now?
Not yet. We're going to add something else first, okay?
My oil is still yellow, but the bottom is like black and like it looks almost like nothing happened except the water turned black.
Exactly. But you'll see. Watch what's going to happen when we add our Alka Seltzer tablet. Okay, next step. Take out your Alka Seltzer tablet. You have your tablet, your packet. Okay. We're going to test. So right now we clearly saw that the oil and the water does not mix. Okay. Oil and water does not mix. Watch what we're going to do first. We're going to open up our packet of Alka Seltzer. We're going to open it up. You're not going to eat it. This is not candy. Even though it looks like candy, you're not going to eat it. Okay. So you have a tablet. You're going to cut it, break it in half. Break it in half. You have 2 pieces. Okay. You're going to, once you have the 2 pieces, grab one of the halves. Hold your Alka Seltzer tablet up so I can see. Those of you who do not have Alka Seltzer tablet, you're going to put 1 spoonful. Let me grab a spoon.
I have the powder.
Yeah, if you have baking soda and you don't have Alka Seltzer, you're going to grab a spoonful of baking soda, just like this, a little spoonful of baking soda. Okay? And you're going to pour that in. So next step, you're going to make sure your jar is on the table. I want you to see, as soon as this hits your jar, see what happens. Go. See what happens. Observe. What's happening? What's happening in your jar? You can leave it on the table and just observe because it's going to do a lot of different things in a second.
Oh my goodness.
This is, let her see.
It's making like colored bubbles.
That's
Yeah.
Shooting up. Look, it's shooting up.
Ooh.
It's shooting up. Okay.
Wow.
Those of you who have baking soda, how's yours coming out?
This is unbelievable.
Okay. Now that was with half a tablet. Imagine what happens if we do a full tablet. So that's what we're going to test, right? So in science, like if a scientist, you know, as scientists, if we're taking observation, if we're recording our data, we would record here, okay, there's a lot of fizzing happening. It's shooting it up. But now what we're going to do, we're going to test, we're going to put in our other tablet. And then if we have more Alka Seltzer, we're going to add a full tablet. So add the other half in there and see what's happening. It looks like tidal waves are happening. I don't know if you guys can see mine, but it's really reacting. It's really reacting there with bubbles, tons of bubbles. Okay. All right. Go ahead and grab, once you added the other tablet, you can open up another.
I'm learning.
Okay.
My jar just turned black, basically.
Mine did too, but wait, it's going to get better. Once we put the lid, it's going to get better. Trust me. Okay. So if you have another Alka Seltzer tablet, which you should if you had a little pack, you can grab a full one. Grab the full one and see what happens now. You can drop it in your jar and see what happens. Let's see. Drop it gently in the jar and let's see what happens. Is it gonna be the same? Whoa. I don't know what yours is doing, but mine's doing something pretty outrageous in the jar.
I don't know what mine's doing.
It looks like someone's swimming in here. They're doing some backstrokes.
Cloud storm.
Yes, it does look like
Tornado.
a cloud storm. It totally does. And it looks like it's just exploding from all sides. And it looks like all the bubbles are going through over and over, all around. Can you hear it? Put your ear next to the jar. What is it saying to you? Is it saying anything? Is it quiet?
It's like sizzling.
It's sizzling. That's right. Put your ear right there. It's sizzling. Okay. All right. So now what you're going to do, you have to be very careful with this part, okay? You have your lid. If you have more Alka Seltzer tablets, you can add a couple more and just continue testing it out if you like. What you can do is go ahead and cover your jar with the lid really tight. Really tight. Squeeze as hard as you can, okay? Do any of my friends need help? Mine isn't doing anything. Okay, Jade, Olivia, baking soda. So those of you guys who have the baking soda, let me see. It should do a little something. Jade, where's Jade? Jade, yours isn't doing anything?
But she's mixing baking soda and vinegar.
Yes, in a tablespoon.
Okay.
I have no idea why.
Yeah, no, did it do anything to it?
Oh, do you want to try adding that, Jane? Do you want to try adding that? You have the baking soda. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hey. Let's see.
Okay. And then I'm doing.
And add some vinegar.
You have to.
Sometimes you can add vinegar and lemon juice together. If you have baking soda, if you have vinegar, add some vinegar and baking soda together. And it
What
should
do you do now?
Okay, next step.
Okay, it overflowed the jar.
Oh no.
Oh, wait, dude, not on the computer, not on the computer.
Out of the computer, be careful. Just a little bit. If you have a lid, you can close it. Be careful. This is when we're working with liquids, it's very hard. All right, go ahead and make sure you close your lid, okay? So now make sure that when you have your lid and it's shut, step away from your computer so you don't get any liquid on here. I'm gonna step away a little bit further. So look, you're going to shake it back and forth and you're gonna see what happens. Let's see if we can actually get it to actually just come together. So it looks like it's all mixing. It looks like my jar is now turning purple or black. I think it mixed. So oil and water does mix, doesn't it?
It didn't mix.
Let's see. Does
When
it
I shaked it, it literally came out of the jar.
Put it in the sink.
Oh wait, well no, it's still like it kind of, you can see the oil, but it has like the black dots in it.
Yeah. So look,
You know,
my
there's another area you add some.
my jar right now is,
Oh yeah, it does mix.
so it mixed, but wait, we're gonna have to observe this for a second and see if it actually does mix. Because it looks like at first it does mix, right? But if you let it sit and let it settle, what's happening again?
The bubbles are going up to the top.
Bubbles are going up to the top. Where's my water?
At the bottom.
My water's back at the bottom. Why? Because what did I say earlier? What did I say earlier about oil and water? Go ahead, Leela.
You said that oil is lighter than water. So the water will sit on top like when we float on top of water because we're lighter.
Yeah, so the oil is always going to end up on the very top of the jar when you mix it with water. It's not, even though it mixed, like if you shake your jar right now again, if you shake your jar really hard, it's gonna appear like everything's mixing together, right? Shake it again. Shake it again. Even if you do it this way, shake it like this. If you shake it, it looks like everything's mixed together and like it's going to stay that way. It does, right? If you continue shaking. But if you let it sit there for like 2 minutes, you're going to see that slowly all the bubbles are going to start raising up. Okay, go ahead, Adam.
My jar is basically black on the bottom and a tiny bit green on the top.
Yep. Yep. Mine too. Look, mine's like a purplish, like a brownish.
Mine's like black.
Yeah. It depends on what color you did, right? If you did like lighter colors like yellow, then it would be different, right? Okay.
I did green and blue.
I was supposed to make a lava lamp.
So this is how you make the lava lamp. So once it starts to settle, you'll see the different food coloring. It'll separate again. Now, the great thing about this, once you put this in the dark, you can aim a flashlight against the jar in the dark, and you'll see that it glows. Because in a lava lamp, it has a light underneath that shines against the oil and the color.
And also, can you use an Alka Seltzer again and put it, will it fizzle or no?
Yes, so if you open this up again, and if you have another Alka Seltzer tablet, you can open it up again, and you can throw in another one and see if it changes the consistency again. Because right now, this looks pretty black. But if I add another Alka Seltzer tablet to it, if you have another one, let's see what happens. I'll probably add a little bit more color to it.
Wait, can you put more food coloring?
You can add more food coloring, sure. Let's see. It's looking like it's mixing. Oh yeah, this is bubbling up a lot. I added another Alka Seltzer tablet, and if you look at the top view of it, it kind of looks like a volcano erupting right here. Kind of looks like a volcano erupting. Add another one.
Really cool.
It's really cool. Okay. Kind of like what happened with our volcano on Monday. It's kind of the same properties. It's super cool. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move on to the next one. With your food coloring, when you added your food coloring into your water, did the water change immediately to a different color when you added your drops? Did your water change immediately? Okay. So again, if you have a flashlight later, I don't have a flashlight with me, but what you can do, if you get a flashlight later, you go into a dark part of your room or your house, and everything is pitch dark, and you aim a flashlight to the back of the jar. Since it's clear, you'll see it'll give you a light effect in the back of the jar. Okay. All right. Now we're going to this other one that I did. You see this one, the original one that I did. This one just stayed the same. This one doesn't have any Alka Seltzer in it. I'm going to test this one out and let me see what happens. I only mixed one color in this one. So let me see if that one changes at all. I'm going to add one tablet here. And you see how it's bubbling in there? Do you see the top, what's happening here? It's really getting crazy in there. It's like a little party in the jar.
Wait, what did you need the egg for?
So the egg is the other experiment that we're going to be doing, okay? So if you are done, if you're not gonna test this out anymore, we're gonna make sure our jars are closed. So then that way we're not spilling any oil or any liquids anywhere, okay? Because we wanna make sure that everything stays safe and clean. The next step, what we're going to do. So experiment number 1 is done. So what did we learn from experiment number 1? Oil and water don't mix, okay? We learned that oil is lighter than water, so that's why oil goes to the top and water goes to the bottom, okay? And you can continue mixing all different things in it and see what happens. So for the next one, you're going to need, for the experiment number 2, you're going to need a cup, and you're going to need water, and you're going to need an egg that is not cooked, okay? If you cooked your egg already, oh well, it's okay, no problem. But if it's not, so you need a cup, a clear cup if you have it, water, and an egg. Why a clear cup? Because you wanna be able to see your egg, okay? You wanna be able to see what's happening with your egg, okay? So make sure you have your egg, make sure you have your cup, and make sure you have, oh, you need, I'm sorry, not water, you need vinegar. Sorry, vinegar.
Is this size cup okay?
Not water, vinegar.
Is this size cup okay?
Let me see. Yes, that's perfect. I have a smaller cup. I did this experiment already. So I have a big cup. You see, I have a big cup here that has been sitting for a while. And then I have my new cup that we're gonna test together, okay? So now this is called the rubber egg. An egg experiment.
I know this one.
How many of you guys have done this one before?
Vinegar and egg, and you wait, I don't know how long, and then it's a bouncy egg.
Yeah.
Wait, show it. Unmute.
Okay, go ahead. You have a question? Go ahead.
This is my egg.
We tried.
Oh, did you do it?
This was a long time ago, but we're still scared to test it for like a week and a half.
Oh my goodness. How does it feel, Jagger? Let me spotlight you. Hold on. Go ahead, Jagger.
It's all squishy and stuff.
Look at that, guys. Can you show them a little closer? Look, guys. Look at his egg. It's been there for what? About a week?
Longer.
Longer than a week. Look, it's like it's a rubber egg. It becomes a rubber egg, almost kind of like silly putty. But you can't squish it too hard because then it might.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be careful with it. You got to be careful with it. Great. Thank you. Thank you for showing. Thank you for showing us. Okay. So we're going to do the same. This one is a little easier. This one's pretty easy. Okay. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. In your cup, you have to grab your egg. You have to be very careful with your egg that you do not drop it before it hits the glass. So
Should
what?
it have its shell on it?
Yes, you're not gonna crack it. You have to be very careful. Look, this is my cup. And I'm gonna put my egg gently in my cup without breaking it. Okay? Gently in the cup without breaking it. And then just leaving it on the table. Okay? All right, leave it there. I'm gonna show you the one that I did. So look, I have had this egg for 24 hours, okay? This egg here in this cup has been sitting for 24 hours. Look what's happening. What do you guys see? What do you guys observe from this egg, from the cup? What do you guys observe? Can anybody tell me? Raise your hand. Go ahead and unmute yourself and tell me. What do you see? Olivia, what do you see? Yeah, what do you see?
It's fizzing and bubbly.
Yep, it's bubbles. So right now there's a film. I'm going to kind of try to pick this egg up and see what happened. I think like my friend over here, let's see. Oh my goodness. Whoa, I think this is gonna crack a little bit, but okay. So look, my egg, the whole shell came off by itself. So this has been sitting for 24 hours and the shell has already come off. This looks yellow. Look, all the membrane, all the skin have come off. The membrane is still there where it's holding it. So right now it's just sitting there. It's going to break its shell apart. Okay. Now, once you have your egg in your cup like this, you're going to go ahead and add your vinegar. So you're going to open up your vinegar. If you already did this, no problem. Go ahead and pour. You want to make sure that you cover your whole egg all the way to the very top, okay? Don't overflow your cup. Just make sure there's at least that the whole egg is covered. You don't want to see the top or anything of the egg, okay? You want to make sure that it's submerged in the cup, okay? Do you see my egg? Do you see my vinegar? Okay. Now, look what's happening. What's happening to your egg right now?
The egg is floating.
The egg is floating. Some of it starts to float and then some of it doesn't. It's funny because with eggs, if you can test if eggs are fresh or not also by putting it in a cup of water. If you have an extra egg, you can test that out. If an egg is fresh or if it's not, you can go ahead and test that. And sometimes it floats and sometimes it sinks depending on how fresh the egg is. Okay? So right now it's going to bubble and it's just bubbling everywhere. Is there any part of your egg that's not bubbling? Do we see Chloe? Yeah, your egg is okay if it's brown. Chloe, what's happening to your egg?
It just has bubbles around it. That's all.
Just bubbles, okay? Yeah, that's it. That's basically it. So right now, if you were to try to take your egg out of your cup though, guess what will happen? It will crack. It will probably crack. We don't want that to happen. So what you're going to do, you're going to leave your egg in the cup. So you're going to just let it sit. This one's an easier experiment that it's basically, this one's more of an observation experiment for day 2. So tomorrow when you wake up, you can come back to your egg in the cup and you're going to see, and you're going to pick it up with your hands and you're going to see that it's going to become rubber. So the shell right now, like if you take your finger right now and just touch the top of the egg, is it soft or is it hard?
Hard.
It's hard.
Right? So feel the shell, because you're going to see the difference tomorrow when you touch it in the morning. You're going to see the difference. Now, those of you who have a brown egg, you have a brown shell. Those of you who have a white egg, you have a white shell. Well, you're going to notice that the shell is going to basically be gone tomorrow morning. Why does that happen? Adam, go ahead, honey. Adam, go ahead. Go ahead, Adam.
For fun, this is not about science. I just want to show you, I got a hamster like 2 weeks ago and he's like 2 months old, so I wanted to show you him.
Sure, no problem. Go ahead and share your hamster.
Okay, just wait 1 second. I'm going to get him.
Okay, so just as a reminder, so our egg, the shell is going to disappear with your egg tomorrow morning. So I want you guys to check and see what happens. The longer that your egg sits in vinegar is the longer that it's going to become more in a rubber texture. Now, what happens with vinegar? Why is it taking out the shell of your egg? What are properties of vinegar that makes it so that it takes off the shell like that? Leela.
I can answer the question, but I have one question.
Sure.
My hands had a little bit of food dye on it, so when I touched the egg kind of got stains on some sides. Do you think that will make a difference?
I don't know. You know what? We're gonna ask you on Friday, and we're gonna see. Maybe it might make a difference.
There's like a little bit of green on it, not a ton, but there's some.
I think what's gonna end up happening, Leela, to be honest, I think your egg's just gonna turn green. It's gonna be a rubbery green egg. I think that's what's gonna happen.
There's not that much, so.
I'm curious to find out.
What was the question?
Okay. So with vinegar, remember what I was saying. So on Monday, I was telling you guys also that vinegar is what? Vinegar is an acid and baking soda is a base. Hold on, Adam is here. Let's say hi. Go ahead, Adam.
Hi, this is my hamster.
What's your hamster's name?
Milkshake. Whoa.
Hey, Milkshake. Thank you for joining us for class. What does a Milkshake eat?
He escaped once from his cage, and then he fell from like 2 feet.
Oh no.
And at least he didn't break anything, and he hid under our couch and just rest.
Okay. Well, thank you for having him.
Non-stop moves.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put him away now.
Thank you. All right, guys. So, go ahead. So with for example, like the shell of the egg is kind of similar to our teeth. If you look at your teeth, well, not right now. I don't want you to touch your teeth right now because we just touched vinegar. But your teeth are pretty hard, right? They have a coating that protects your teeth. So it's kind of the same thing. If you were to eat a lot of lemons, what would happen to your teeth? Can anybody tell me? Lemon is acidic. What would happen to your teeth if you were to eat a lot of lemon? Elizabeth and Michelle, take a guess. What would happen to your teeth if you were to eat a lot of lemon?
They would turn yellow.
They would turn yellow. Okay, not quite, but that's a really good guess. What would the acid do? What, Paige?
I think it's gonna turn red if you add like yellow.
If we add yellow to our jar? Oh, you mean to the egg? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. But what happens when you eat a lot of, that's why they tell us not to eat a lot of acidic stuff, because what ends up happening, our teeth start to decay, our teeth start to break apart. So the same thing's going to happen with the egg. Since we're going to leave it sitting for 24 hours or more hours, with the egg, the shell is going to break apart because it's so acidic, and it's going to just break and go away. Okay. So I'm going to show you another trick. How many of you guys have an extra cup with you, or a jar, an extra jar or an extra cup?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. If you have an extra cup or extra jar, take it out. If you don't, it's okay. If you can get another glass, we're gonna do something really quick. You don't have to. You can just watch. Okay. So I'm gonna show you something. If you have a little piece of paper, I'm gonna show you something as well. Okay. So if I have a piece of paper, let's say I want to do an arrow. Okay. I'm gonna draw an arrow. I'm gonna get my jar and I'm gonna do an arrow. I'm gonna do an arrow that goes this way. Okay. So you see the arrows going one way? Yeah, you see that? Okay. The arrow's going this way. Does everybody see? Class is not quite over, but Olivia, if you want to go, you can go, honey, okay? It's almost over. Okay. So I have this. Do you see my jar right here? What way is the arrow pointing? It's still pointing the same way, right? But what happens if I put water in the jar? Hold on one second. If I put water in the jar, my arrow is this way. But if I put my arrow here, what side did it go? Did you see what happened? Do you guys see that? Do you guys see that it flipped? Hold on. I'm going to try that again. So you can do this as a magic trick. It basically bends the water. So the arrow is this way right here, but then when you move it, it flips. Do you guys see that? Let's see, somebody try that. Leela, did it flip? Did it flip? Okay. So once you add the water, so you can do that with anything.
It kind of was like, since my cup has like these little bends in it, it kind of like repeated itself like a bunch of times, like without the water. Just with it, you could see it going that way like a bunch of times, and then when you swept it, you could see it going that way like a bunch of times.
Yeah. So you can do it with an arrow. You can do it whichever way you want. Let me see. I'm
I
gonna.
have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
After like a week, would your egg be bouncy enough to like bounce it on the floor like a bouncy ball?
Yes, it would, but I would do it outside, because just in case it gets everywhere, if it cracks, sometimes it'll crack, but it's not gonna crack like when you regularly crack an egg. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when you crack an egg, like all the yolk gets everywhere, but when it becomes a bouncy egg, it becomes just all like mush inside, where it just becomes rubber, okay? And that's it. So you guys can test the water trick. You can draw any type of image on a smaller sheet of paper. You can draw, and then it'll automatically flip. It's like kind of like looking at a mirror where your image will flip the other way. Okay. All right. So let me go over. I'm going to go over the materials that you guys need for Friday. On Friday, what we're going to be making, we're going to be making ice cream in a bag. okay? So ice cream in a bag. You guys are going to need your rock salt. You're going to need milk if you drink milk, or half and half. If you don't drink milk, you can use almond milk. You can have sprinkles if you want for extra sugar, a little bit of sugar, whipped cream if you want, sprinkles, anything to me, and Ziploc bags. Your parents should have all the material lists for ice cream. If not, I'll resend it today so you guys have that link and you guys can get everything you need. How many of you guys have ever made ice cream in a bag before? Or ice cream in a tin? Okay. It does taste, Jagger, does it taste like ice cream?
Yes.
Yes, it does. It really does. What type of ice cream did you make, Jagger?
I made vanilla, and I actually made it at art camp.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's one of our favorites, especially in the summer. Devin, go ahead, honey.
Chocolate, but it turned out vanilla-ish because I did it on a screen. It was on a screen.
Oh, awesome. Okay. All right, guys. So again, with this experiment, what do? We just added our egg here at the bottom. We added our vinegar here. Bubbles started forming on our egg. And this is gonna be our rubber egg. Okay, so our rubber egg. In 24 hours, tomorrow morning, what I want you guys to do when you wake up or after you had breakfast, go check on your egg. Again, this is the egg that I had since yesterday, and it is pretty rubbery. It's pretty soft. I can squish it like a ball, to be honest. So I'm excited to see how yours are going to turn out, everybody. Okay, well, do you guys have any questions about today's experiment? Okay, you can continue, like if you have more Alka Seltzer tablets, you can continue and open up your jar.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
egg is kind of floating in the jar.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. You can go ahead and add any more Alka Seltzer. That's great, Chloe. I love it. You can add more Alka Seltzer in your jar if you want to test it out some more. You can continue shaking it, see if anything changes. And then I'm going to ask you about your experiment. Did any of you guys continue exploding your volcanoes after Monday's class? Did you guys try that out again?
Yeah.
You guys enjoy that experiment?
Also, what would happen if you added Alka-Seltzer tablets to the vinegar and the egg?
You know what? I'm not sure, but you can test that out in a different cup. Test it out and see what happens. Tell us on Friday. Okay. All right, guys. I hope you guys had an amazing science class, and we'll see you guys on Friday. We're going to be making ice cream. I'll send all the materials again to your parents, so you guys are ready. You guys might want to do the ice cream outside. If not, just make sure you have enough space wherever you're going to be making your ice cream in a bag, because you're going to be shaking your bag, and it gets really cold. It gets really cold. Right? All right, guys. Have a great one, everybody.
It's on the counter over there.
I'll see you guys on Friday.
Tomorrow morning, we'll see it.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye, Jane. Bye, Chloe. Bye, Elizabeth. Bye, Michelle. Bye, Iris.
Bye. I'll see you on Friday.
See you
I'll see you on Friday. Goodbye.
Danielle. Bye, guys. Bye, everybody.